Russia has launched a military assault on Ukraine.
Equipment behind you rolling. In general, look at this if you can.
Hey, John. Yeah. There's a
Good evening, and we're coming on the air at this hour with breaking news after the U.S. warned all day of a full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it was imminent. Vladimir Putin has just addressed the Russian people moments ago and now.
Did NATO push Ukraine into this war?
Don't. It will change the face of war, not like anything since World War II.
С праздником вас! С Днем Великой Победы! Ура! Ура! Ура!
The following film is brought to you by Documentary Hunter. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the intellectually enlightening documentaries in the future. So you must have heard about the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Well, Russia calls it a special operation, and you must also be familiar with all the BS around this topic that the mainstream media tries to sell you. But as intellectual people, you should always have multiple trusted sources of information. In today's documentary, we would go deep into this issue, providing you the historical context and all the future prospects. So stay tuned. In the meantime, you can also like this video, or else Putin would invade your house and kill your parents and pet. If you are familiar with history, you must know that not too long ago, there existed a nation called the United Soviet Socialist Republic. The mere existence of this nation was a sight of pain for the capitalist United States, because the USSR had communist ideals, which led to the Cold War. During this period, USSR's President Mikhail Gorbachev introduced two policies, Glasnost and Perestroika, which led to transparency and the Communist Party having less power, both of which are not exactly good for an authoritative regime, and it led to breaking up of USSR, and the nation largely succeeding USSR was Russia. At first, it seemed that even Russia is going to break into multiple nation states because the conditions were worsening. Russian leaders were not able to control the economy. Everything was a doom. The nation with world's largest nuclear arsenal was about to fall, but then Russia witnessed rise of a charismatic leader, Vladimir Putin. Together with Medvedev, Putin managed the Russian economy and things were improving. It seemed everything was nice once again. Even the Western media was praising Putin. Relations with the West were at all-time high until the 2014 annexation of Crimea. After all, good times don't last long. As Russia was stabilizing and gaining power, true geopolitical intentions of Putin were revealed. Crimea has been under the influence of many kingdoms, from the time of the Greeks to the time of the Ottoman Empire. In 1783, the Russian Empire took control of the peninsula. During 1854, the Orthodox Church, wanting to increase its influence, prompted Tsar Nicholas I to approach the Ottomans and demand that the Christian subjects under the Ottoman Empire be placed under his protection. which led to the Crimean War of 1854 and many short-lived regimes. Following the 1917 revolution, Bolsheviks secured Crimea and made it a part of USSR. Under orders from Joseph Stalin, ethnic cleansing of Crimean Tatars took place. Hundreds of thousands of them were migrated, starved, or killed. Then, in 1954, Crimea was transferred to Ukraine, and following the breakup of USSR during 1990s, Crimeans wanted more autonomy from Ukraine. Finding an opportunity in this, Russians promoted separatism and in 2014 took over the peninsula from Ukraine, leading to heavy sanctions from the United States and the European Union.
Я понимаю, что многие боятся этих реформ как огня. Но уж простите, господа, придется забыть.
Much like all other nations who broke away from the Soviets, Ukraine has also seen fair share of corrupt political leaders, some even puppets installed by the Russians, the most famous of these cases being of that of Viktor Yanukovych. After the 2014 annexation of Crimea, Ukrainian educated elites started fearing about a possible future aggression from Russia and now insisted to join NATO more than ever. Russia was worried about NATO being on its borders, one after the other, circumstances producing the domino effect, and later, the war in February 2022.
Ты что, стрельнул?
Да.
At the time of filming this documentary, Russia and Ukraine have been at war for more than 8 months, with Russia having captured 4 regions of Ukraine and merged them with the Russian Federation using a referendum. Interestingly, these referendums were largely in favor of Russia, with numbers as high as 99%. The US and many countries rejected the referendum, questioning its legitimacy, as the voter turnout was just 2 to 4%. Apart from that, after the beginning of Ukrainian counteroffensive, this war has been largely humiliating for Russia. Russia even ordered a partial mobilization of citizens, which led to a chaos inside many Russian cities, because the war was now knocking at the doors of the common people. The chaos was not due to the Russians being coward, since they volunteered in large numbers during the world wars. So why are things different this time? Well, it is largely due to the successful information warfare of the West using mainstream media to produce fake reports and making Russian people feel they are at the fault, and this war is completely wrong. Russia, on the other hand, has not been much successful in spreading its narrative of saving Russian-speaking people in the East Ukraine from the neo-Nazis of Ukraine. Yes, Ukraine throughout the years has been influenced with the Nazi ideology. They don't hate Jews, but a large part of Nazism also consists of hating Slavs, the ethnically Russian people. However, These neo-Nazis are very small in number, not to be confused with the much larger population of Ukraine, who are against any such ideologies. Russia has so far gained $12 trillion in wealth due to the resource-rich land of Ukraine. Most of the experts believe that Russia wants to ensure the water supply to Crimea and establish a buffer zone so as to evade any future possibilities of NATO coming dangerously close to its borders. From the start of this war, Russia has been slapped with heavy sanctions and even become world's most sanctioned country. But soon, these sanctions could be lifted up because of Europe's dependence on Russian gas and Russia's oldest and most trusted ally.
To his